Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, the Maine House passed a bill that seeks to protect the online privacy of Mainers. We'll have the details coming up. Plus, many Maine communities are receiving federal funding to help with projects. One small town explains how the money will make a big difference. And an important heads up for snowmobilers near the Moosehead Lake region. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop. Craig Colson is off for the day. We'll have those stories and much more coming up. And as always, we thank you for joining us. We'll have some partly cloudy skies today with fairly mild weather overall. Let's start off this morning by getting a first check of our forecasts. Devin Biggs joins us now.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment. 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. We have a small craft advisory that is up until 7 a.m. as we head towards your Friday along the coast. We'll be watching for some active surf that will be occurring up until that point. Meanwhile, the last of the snow is getting out of here. We've had some snowfall reports, and overall, though, we've had a few spots seeing some rather high reports, even up to 7 to 9 inches further down toward the south and east where that winter storm warning was posted. Further off towards the north, not as bad, roughly 2 to 4, even up to 5 inches in some areas further off towards the north and east. The last of the snow is starting to get out of here. You can see it right about in here. That will get out of here throughout the morning period, and then for the rest of the day looking rather nice. Let's zoom things out. You can see still some areas of snow across parts of the northeast, but again, while they're seeing that, our snow will begin to wrap up. Futurecast showing that snow getting out of here, gradually seeing the clouds break up today, and overall a nice evening on the way. Hourly forecast for today, again, the snow wrapping up. We'll just have clouds today with temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
All right, thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. First, this morning, the Maine House of Representatives has passed a bill with major implications for protecting the data privacy of Mainers. Our Callie Warren breaks down LD 1822.
The only winners in the current state of the digital advertising industry are big tech companies like Google and the data brokers and advertising technology middlemen that dwell in their shadows.
That was testimony to support LD 1822, which passed the Maine House on Tuesday. The bill seeks to protect the online privacy of Mainers by minimizing data collection and sale of personal information to advertisers.
I support this bill because I don't trust Google, I don't trust Facebook, Meta, I don't trust Apple. They are exploiting our data for profit, for themselves.
The Pew Research Institute reports that 81% of Americans are uncomfortable with the ways companies may collect and use their consumer data. The legislation proves controversial, not for the data that it protects, but for what some say is the potential for Maine small businesses to be affected by advertising restrictions.
When you have small businesses like Hyperlight Mountain Gear right in Biddeford, who are competing for purchasing or selling power online with organizations such as LL Bean, they need to be able to market to their consumer based on what their consumer wants and needs.
Other legislators argue that local businesses would not be affected.
It does not stop legitimate marketing and competition. Businesses that operate ethically will still be able to advertise, compete, and succeed.
As amended, LD 1822 would prevent personal data, including information on race, gender, and religion, from being sold to third parties, as well as biological and biometric data like DNA sequences or facial recognition. It would also prevent the data of minors from being sold or used for advertising purposes.
The single most important thing we can do to protect Mainers in this AI-enabled world is to pass strong data privacy protections, and 1822 is that vehicle.
As amended and if passed, this bill would take effect on July 1st, 2027. It faces further votes in the Senate and House in the coming weeks. Callie Warren reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, new court documents are shedding light on what led to former gubernatorial candidate Elliot Cutler's arrest Monday in southern Maine. The documents show that a member of the Maine State Police Special Victims Unit was returning to the DoubleTree Hotel in South Portland after conducting search warrants in Cumberland County. It was then that they ran into Cutler, who documents say was carrying a brown paper bag and a stack of black DVDs. After confronting him, the 79-year-old hid the items behind his back. When asked what he had, Cutler showed authorities he had bought pornography on DVDs. The documents say Cutler began to plead with the man, saying, quote, Mr. Cutler began to loudly cry and say he can't help himself and that he has this problem for 65 years, end quote. A search of his room revealed 10 adult pornography DVDs and a DVD player connected to the hotel TV. Cutler was then transported to Cumberland County Jail for violating the conditions of his release. He appeared over Zoom before a district court judge yesterday. Cutler pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of violating his probation, and the presiding judge ruled that he be held without bail. This marks the 3rd time in the last 6 months that Cutler allegedly violated his probation for his 2023 conviction on possessing child sex abuse materials. Another hearing is scheduled for next week. Bangor officials are investigating reports of an alleged hidden camera inside a bathroom at the Best Buy on Bangor Mall Boulevard. Bangor police confirmed they are actively looking into the claims, but say they cannot yet share details about how the device was discovered or whether it was found in the men's or women's bathroom. We've reached out to Best Buy's corporate office for comment and are still waiting to hear back. A man has been arrested after allegedly destroying property at a downtown business yesterday morning. Bangor Police Sergeant Jeremy Brock says a little after 4 a.m., officers responded to a business on Main Street after a caller reported seeing a man beating a pillar with a hammer. He says when officers arrived, they saw 46-year-old Matthew Bowden actively using a hammer to hit the pillar and saw a large amount of granite had been removed. According to Brock, they also saw that the granite from the door frame of the business had also been damaged. Bowden was arrested. He is charged with criminal mischief, disorderly conduct, and violations of conditions of release. A bill to protect communities from toxic PFAS spills has become law. LD 222 passed both the House and the Senate with bipartisan support last year. It became law without the governor's signature. The bill was submitted in the wake of the August 2024 toxic foam spill at Brunswick Landing. Supporters say it will help keep communities and water safe by providing resources to safely remove and dispose of PFAS firefighting foam. 211 Maine is marking a big milestone, the number that people call when they need services or information on everything from mental health concerns to keeping the heat on has been helping Mainers for 20 years. In recognition of the program's 20th anniversary, 211 Maine is launching the 420K for 20 years campaign. Courtney Yeager, president of the 211 Maine Board of Directors, says sustaining a 24/7 helpline requires investment in skilled staff, updated technology, language access, and strong partnership across the state. She says every dollar raised helps to ensure that when someone reaches out, whether at midnight or noon, there's a knowledgeable, caring person on the other end of the line. You can donate at 211maine.org/20 years. Meanwhile, more than 150 Maine communities are receiving federal funding for critical local projects. The investments span the state from Kittery all the way to Presque Isle. As our Alex Schley tells us, one local fire official says the funding is going to make a big difference in their small town.
Last week, it was announced that Brownville will receive about $3 million of federal funding to build a new fire facility. Maine Senator Susan Collins, chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, announced that last week she secured more than $425 million through congressionally directed spending for 156 projects across the state. In a statement Friday, Senator Collins said in part, quote, "These targeted investments will provide real and direct benefits for communities in all 16 counties. As chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, I fought hard to ensure this important funding was included in the final funding bill that were signed into law." In Brownville, Fire Chief Sean Mitchell says that the town's current stations are nearly 4 decades old and no longer meet today's demand.
Volume from then to now has grown exponentially. When we were, probably doing 50, 55 calls a year, and now we're up to 500-600 calls annually.
Mitchell says the existing facilities limit the equipment they can house and training they can provide. He says without federal support, a project of this scale would be out of reach for the community.
Is immeasurable, really. It's going to be a huge piece for us. And it's not something we as a community would ever be able to have afforded without, the assistance of the federal government and Senator Collins' office.
Thanks to the grant, Mitchell says that the cost of the new station will not fall on local taxpayers. The next step is to meet with town leaders and engineers to determine what type of facility will best serve the community's needs. However, he says it will likely be several years before they'll see a new firehouse. In Brownville, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And an important heads up for snowmobilers in the Moosehead Lake region, a large and potentially dangerous pressure ridge has formed on the lake. Take a look at these images. According to the Moosehead Lakeshore Journal, this is a roughly 4-foot high pressure ridge that has formed between Deer Island and Burnt Jacket. Travelers are advised to avoid the middle and instead detour far left toward Deer Island or to the far right toward Burnt Jacket in order to get around it safely. Exercise caution, drop your speed, and stay alert for changing ice conditions. The time now is 6:11. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, the University of Maine held their annual career fair with over 160 employers from across the state. But first, let's take another look at our forecast. For today, we have mostly sunny skies with temperatures right around 33 degrees. Overnight tonight, mostly clear, temperatures dropping down to 11. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies as well, highs around 31. We'll be right back.
If you love chocolate, dark chocolate, well, things may have just gotten even better. This week on GMA, see the very real health benefits for your heart that dark chocolate holds. Delicious and heart healthy? The doctor's in. This week on Good Morning America.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Get out there and see the USA. Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all Chevy Silverado 1500 models. Or get $5,350 in total value on this Chevy Silverado.
In the great green woods, there was a fishing line and a red lobster buoy, the sun over the pine. And there were 3 little moose sitting on chairs, and 2 big boots, and a pair of bears, and a little toy boat, and a bowl full of blueberries, and a quiet old loon who was whispering, "Hush, good morning, stars. Good morning, air. Good morning, Maine everywhere. Good morning, Maine. Good morning, sun. Good morning, the light in everyone. Good morning, Maine. Local news, weekdays at 7 a.m.
The University of Maine is helping students prepare for their futures in the workforce. Many got a glimpse into what life after college could look like. Our Alexa Kennedy tells us more.
Wednesday, the University of Maine in Orono held its annual career fair at the New Balance Student Recreation Center. The day-long event featured over 160 employers from across the state, representing a variety of industries. Employers look to recruit students, offering full-time positions and internships.
The ultimate goal is for our students to find great positions where they can use their skills that they have developed over the course of their academic program. Well, that's a really great way for students to get into an employer and gain some career-related experience, and then often they may get hired out of their internships.
Blackie says the event was UMaine's largest and most diverse career fair yet.
It's nice for our students to help with the Maine economy and become engaged because these are leaders of the future.
One UMaine alumni returned to the school as a booth representative for a job that she attained through the career fair.
It's kind of difficult to really stand out unless you get your foot in the door at something like this. This is a really good way to put your face to a name behind an application, really make those connections, network with us.
Students appreciated the unique opportunity to explore so many job options.
Even if I talk to 10 or 15 tables, if I make 2 or 3 good connections, I can follow through with an application, I'm happy.
In Orono, Alexa Kennedy, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
The time now is 6:15. After the break, scientists around the country are sounding the alarm for possible springtime drought. We'll have more ahead. Plus, a landmark trial in Los Angeles is underway with social media giants accused of designating their platforms to addict users. Those stories and more straight ahead on Good Morning Maine.
See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Finish this bucket on your own.
Enjoy your new car.
Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease an all-wheel drive Hyundai Tucson SE for $259 a month, or get 0% APR plus 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry in.
At China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, we're serving up your Chinese favorites. Our food is delicious, our staff is friendly, and our service is fast. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Call ahead, order online, or just stop by. Enjoy our indoor dining for the full experience, or get takeout that the whole family will enjoy. We'll make sure your cravings are satisfied. China Walk on Broadway in Bangor, where tradition meets flavor.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes & More has a team of experts trained in podorthics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or the hard-to-fit foot. Discover the latest in functional and fashionable footwear for men and women from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Merrell, and Ariat. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit-and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
See that brand new Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid.
Finish this bucket on your own.
Enjoy your new car.
Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Lease a Hyundai Elantra SE for $189 a month, or get 3.99% APR for 60 months. Hurry in.
Drought could be developing across parts of the West as risks of future water shortages rise because of not enough falling snow and too hot temperatures. Fox's Ted Linder takes a closer look at the threats and impacts.
Scientists from around the country are sounding alarms.
I am worried about this. I worry about it a lot.
Citing how a record snow drought and higher winter temperatures are triggering fears over water shortages come spring across portions of the West.
The snow situation here in the West, I've never seen anything like it. We don't have the snowfall, and we have such extreme warmth that whatever snow falls just doesn't stay around anymore.
Snowpack is a layer of snow that builds up on the ground, compacting over time, and then releasing water as it melts in warmer months.
Out here in the West, it's the mountain snowpack that is our primary source of water for agriculture, for anything else. Across almost all of the West, we're in terrible shape right now. 50 to 55% of where we should be.
Colorado, Oregon, and Utah are all experiencing their lowest statewide snowpack since records started in the 1980s. It comes as at least 67 weather stations across the West are reporting their warmest December through early February temperatures on record.
What we are seeing across the West is that the mountain snowpack is starting to shrink. The snowpack doesn't really develop as early in the autumn as it used to, and we're starting to see the melt occurring earlier.
The conditions are also negatively impacting winter tourism, sparking concerns over the possibility of future wildfires.
Someone does something stupid, throws a cigarette butt out, or is an arcing from a power line. Now you can get a nasty forest fire.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
The time now is 6:19. Let's get a full look at our forecast. Meteorologist Devin Biggs is in with the latest.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience a Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. We have a small craft advisory that is up until Friday at around 7 a.m. along the coast. We're keeping an eye on some active surf that will be occurring until around that time frame. And for now, it is starting to pick up at around 2 to 6 feet. According to the buoys, that's a wide range there. Further off towards the north and east by the contours, you can see it is picking up. Further out towards sea, it is getting active again at around 8 to even 16 feet already. And meanwhile, on land, the last of the snow reports starting to come in too, and even up to 9 inches being reported according to some of these reports as well. And further off towards the north, not as bad. Some areas seeing at around 2 to even 5 inches according to some of these reports. So overall, nothing too ridiculous, but still some areas seeing a few snow showers this morning. This will be tapering off, and we'll see the clouds breaking up throughout the daytime period today. Still some areas of the northeast seeing some snow, but as for us, again, the snow will be tapering off throughout the daytime period as low pressure begins to move away. So again, decreasing clouds today. Overall, we're clearing out pretty good tonight. And as we head towards tomorrow, again, looking pretty nice. The winds will be a thing today, tonight, and also into parts of tomorrow. Overall, not much cloud cover, so we'll see a good amount of sunshine, at least, with more clouds on the way as we head towards early Saturday morning. But again, gusty winds up to 25 to even close to 30 miles per hour at times today, and even in a few spots coming up later on tonight. And even as we head towards tomorrow, some gusty winds up to around 20 miles per hour. So for today, here we go. Low 30s, decreasing clouds and breezy. Northwest wind at around 25 miles per hour. Overnight, 9 degrees, mostly clear and breezy. Northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour or so. Later on tomorrow, low 30s, mostly sunny and breezy, and that west wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast, brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Valentine's Day on Saturday, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for snow, highs in the low 30s, with mid-30s on Sunday under a partly cloudy sky. President's Day on Monday, mostly cloudy, overall with highs in the upper 30s.
When lives are on the line, they don't hesitate to run towards danger. Unfortunately, the same gear that protects them from deadly flames can be hazardous to their health. Senator Susan Collins to the rescue. Susan helped introduce legislation that protects firefighters and first responders from cancer-causing forever chemicals in their equipment. Because their job is dangerous enough, call Senator Collins and thank her for protecting Maine's first responders.
Patriot Homes in Hancock, your home construction and renovation experts, proudly wish the Ellsworth Eagles good luck in the tournaments. Congratulations to the Hamden Academy teams from Leo & Sons Auto Repair, a family-owned business providing fast and dependable auto repair services. Complete Tire Service Incorporated, your Ellsworth-based tire and repair shop since 1964, would like to congratulate the Ellsworth basketball teams for making it to the tournament.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
Come in and visit AMHG Works, Bangor's #1 gift shop, located at 36 Springer Drive in the Rennie's Plaza. We have special gifts for you, your furry companion, and that special someone you are in need of a gift for. It's worth a trip in for unique American-made gifts. Here at AMHG Works, everything is American-made, and we are open 7 days a week for your convenience. American-made home goods. We look forward to seeing you.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
This morning, a rare rebuke for President Trump from his own party after several House Republicans joined Democrats to vote to terminate his tariffs on Canada. The measure would end the emergency declaration used to justify those tariffs and could have major implications for trade and consumer costs. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio was in Washington with the latest.
On this vote, the yeas are 218 and the nays are 213. The bill is passed.
This morning, a major rebuke of President Trump's trade policy. The GOP-led House passing a resolution to rescind the president's tariffs on Canada. 6 Republicans joining nearly every Democrat to pass the measure, despite Speaker Mike Johnson's effort to block it. Trump warning on social media last night that any Republican in the House or the Senate that votes against tariffs will seriously suffer the consequences come election time, and that includes primaries.
More than 60% of Americans disapprove of these tariffs. They know that the foreign governments don't pay these tariffs. They know that American families do.
Speaker Johnson argued that Congress should not be getting in the way with Trump's tariffs.
The president should be able to conduct his trade policy, which has been very successful.
At the same time, a decision is still pending from the Supreme Court on whether the president has exceeded his authority by using emergency statutory powers to impose wide-ranging tariffs. It comes as a new report from the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation shows that tariffs cost the average American household $1,000 more last year. That number is set to increase to $1,300 this year if all the existing tariffs stay in place. President Trump credits tariffs for bringing in revenue for the federal government. But as we head towards the midterms, the latest polling shows 56% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of the economy, while 39% approve. And the bill now heads to the Senate, where it faces an uncertain future. If it passes, the president will likely veto the legislation. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
The search for Nancy Guthrie now 12 days since her disappearance. The FBI conducting what was called an extensive search in Guthrie's neighborhood, looking for anything that might shed light on who's responsible. Authorities say tips are coming in thousands at a time. ABC's Lionel Moyes has more.
FBI agents seen doing an extensive search in the foothills of the Catalina Mountains with no sign of Nancy Guthrie. Investigators looking through brush and along roads for anything the man seen on video at the 84-year-old's front door might have discarded.
Any debris that was thrown out on the side of the road, anything that was dropped on the side of the road, it could be really, a piece of paper, something with a fingerprint on it.
The latest search coming after police questioned and released a man who says he's a delivery driver. He says he has nothing to do with Guthrie's kidnapping.
They better do their job and find the suspect that did it so they can clear my name. I'm done. Just look at what I'm putting my family through.
Sources say he was on investigators' radar before the doorbell video was released, and that the FBI wanted to speak with him after looking at digital data, including cell phone usage and traffic data. Officials are still trying to determine the source of those 2 ransom notes, demanding $6 million in Bitcoin, with deadlines that have since passed and no proof of life.
It's difficult to locate and rescue the person who's been kidnapped. The complexity of these investigations have been made even more intense because kidnappers are increasingly using technology to plan these operations, to receive the ransoms in these operations, and to avoid detection by law enforcement.
Closely analyzing that doorbell video and every detail from the person's weapon, clothing, backpack, and even mannerisms.
When you throw up a picture out to the public, you're going to get literally hundreds, if not thousands, of leads, of which most of them won't amount to anything. But there'll be a nugget here and there that might well catch this guy.
Since that doorbell video was released, more than 4,000 calls have flooded into the tip lines with a total of 18,000 tips since Guthrie vanished. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Now taking the stand in a pivotal trial and taking issue with the idea of clinical addiction when it comes to social media. The tech companies are under scrutiny, accused of engineering their apps to promote compulsive use.
A landmark trial in Los Angeles. Meta's platforms, Instagram and Facebook, as well as Google's YouTube, are accused of designing their platforms to addict users. The plaintiff claims the apps hooked her with their notifications and infinite scrolling. But Instagram chief Adam Mosseri took the stand and refused to accept the premise of clinical addiction, instead using the term problematic use, defining it as someone spending more time on Instagram than they feel good about, and that definitely happens. The questioning then turned to Instagram's plastic surgery filters and their possible effect on teens and body image. Jurors saw internal emails where executives appeared to debate whether those filters cause body dysmorphia. The plaintiff claims the company prioritizes profit over safety. But Mosseri insisted keeping teens safe is in the company's financial interest, saying it's really hard to imagine any instance where prioritizing safety isn't good for revenue. But defense attorneys are now trying to prove the plaintiff had mental health struggles before using their apps.
They're pointing at KGM, that's the name for the 19-year-old who's the plaintiff in this case. They're pointing at KGM and saying, yes, there could be some negative things about social media, but let's talk about her, that before she got into social media, she had already had a therapist. There was already issues with her, and that's what caused a lot of the mental and physical issues that she's arguing with, not social media.
With social media apps on trial, artificial intelligence is also in the spotlight as another high-profile AI employee quits over safety concerns. Former OpenAI researcher Zoe Hitzig sounding the alarm about ads on their platform, saying the company is building an economic engine that creates stronger incentives to override its own rules. But OpenAI insists the ads will not influence responses. Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Now to the death of Dawson's Creek star James Vanderbeek. He suffered from a colorectal cancer. His case is now raising awareness and questions about that disease. After battling colorectal cancer, former teen idol James Vanderbeek has died at just the age of 48 years old. He announced in 2024 he had cancer, but it was just last month he revealed it was colorectal cancer. Vanderbeek's career spanned 3 decades, most notably known for his role as Dawson Leary and in Dawson's Creek. Colorectal cancer affects the lower intestine and is the second most common cancer in both men and women. About 160,000 people are expected to be diagnosed just this year. Colonoscopies are recommended beginning at age 45 and earlier if you have family history. Coming up on the second half of the newscast, one couple is celebrating Valentine's Day through volunteering on a boat. We'll meet them as Good Morning Maine continues.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed. No. We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
This President's Day, you can wait for a sale price. Or you can get the best price every day at Bob's.
And more of what you love.
More storage and more power.
More comfort and more choices.
Even more years on that precious mattress warranty.
All for hundreds less than the competition.
I cannot tell a lie. Bob's is the obvious choice.
When you find the better choice, there's only one thing to say.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's discount for...
Hello, this is George Whelan with Down East Direct Cremation. Now, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, from the comfort of your desktop or the convenience of your mobile device, you can summon transport and arrange a simple, affordable, respectful Down East Direct Cremation for your deceased loved one. Just by using the button exclusively at downeastdirectcremation.com. All you need is the location address of the person who has died, their vital statistics information, a valid credit card for payment, and that's it. No need to pick up the telephone, no need to answer a bunch of questions, no need to come into the store, and it's still just $9.75 complete. It's so easy, even I can do it. For more information, visit us at downeastdirectcremation.com or call us at 207-225-5332. Simple, affordable, respectful. The button, only at downeastdirectcremation.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026, and it's also National Hug Day. It's hard to deny the power of a simple hug can have on our moods and our general well-being. Hugs help lower stress, lower blood pressure, and more. This is a day to hug a person that you love. Now on to some history. On this day in history, back in 1809, President Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin at Sinking Spring Farm in Kentucky. It was also on this date in 1914 that groundbreaking took place for the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. It was built in the style of a Greek temple and features 36 columns representing the states in the Union at the time of Lincoln's death. It also includes a statue of Lincoln that was carved from 28 blocks of Georgia marble. Now, in 1879, Madison Square Garden in New York opened North America's first artificial ice rink. In 1909, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People was founded in New York City as well. And in 1994, the famous painting The Scream was stolen from a gallery in Oslo, Norway on opening day of the Winter Olympics. It was later recovered after a sting operation following a ransom demand. And lastly, in 1999, the U.S. Senate voted to acquit President Bill Clinton in his impeachment trial for perjury and obstruction of justice. Now for some birthdays. Today's birthdays include actress Christina Ricci, who is turning 46 years old today. Actor Josh Brolin is turning 58. And singer Michael McDonald is turning 74. Happy birthday to them, and happy birthday to you too if your birthday is today. Now let's turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Much happy Thursday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience the Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment. 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. We have a small craft advisory that is up until 7 a.m. as we head towards your Friday along the coast. We'll be watching for some active surf that will be occurring up until that point. Meanwhile, the last of the snow is getting out of here. We've had some snowfall reports, and overall, though, we've had a few spots seeing some rather high reports, even up to 7 to 9 inches further down toward the south and east where that winter storm warning was posted. Further off towards the north, not as bad, roughly 2 to 4, even up to 5 inches in some areas further off towards the north and east. The last of the snow is starting to get out of here. You can see it right about in here. That will get out of here throughout the morning period, and then for the rest of the day looking rather nice. Let's zoom things out. You can see still some areas of snow across parts of the northeast, but again, while they're seeing that, our snow will begin to wrap up. Futurecast showing that snow getting out of here, gradually seeing the clouds break up today, and overall a nice evening on the way. Hourly forecast for today, again, the snow wrapping up. We'll just have clouds today with temperatures in the 30s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up.
Thank you, Devin. Well, I don't think this was their plan all along, but this story does make you wonder about finding love through volunteering thousands of miles away on a ship.
This Valentine's Day week, we're meeting a couple whose love story kind of sounds like... Did you know it was going to kind of end up being like the Love Boat, too?
No. Not at the time.
For about 4 decades, Gary and Susan Parker have been volunteering for Mercy Ships, a nonprofit that brings hospital ships around the world to perform life-changing surgeries in primarily developing nations. Gary was one of the first surgeons to come aboard back in the mid-'80s.
Do you remember what this kid's name was?
Alfred.
You still remember Alfred 40 years later?
It's the first ones, He was one of the first patients.
But Gary and Susan can also remember meeting each other in 1987. At 25, Susan had just joined to volunteer as an executive assistant.
You know when a surgeon boards a ship and he's single. The word goes around.
Well, fast forward a little bit, and here are their engagement photos in Ghana before marrying in 1991. Soon, they were raising their 2 children on the ship. Here's their son, Wesley, watching TV with some of the young patients. And here's an interview with their daughter, Karis, from 11 years ago, giving her feedback on what it's like to grow up at sea.
I get to interact with so many cultures, so many people, learn new worldviews and languages and religions. So for me, I'm really grateful for the opportunity.
Well, here's how you know she wasn't kidding. In 2024, Karis married a Scottish anesthesiologist she met on a Mercy ship while they were volunteering together.
Well, she said to me, I want you to know, I know my life is starting to look like yours, but we will not live on a ship for 40 years.
And while Gary and Susan cannot be on the ships as much now, even the day of our interview, Susan had woken up at 4 a.m. to check in on a ship in Madagascar during a terrible cyclone.
It's really a two-way street. We're offering the gifts and skills that we have, but we're also learning from what their cultures share with us and what they have as a people that we don't have.
By the numbers, Mercy Ships has performed more than 125,000 surgical procedures and more than 500,000 dental procedures, while more than 500 couples have met and married while serving on board. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
How sweet is that? Well, still to come here this morning, Jack Webb with sports. Don't go away.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
When you're ready to remodel your kitchen, find all the materials and services you need at Hammond Lumber Company. Get inspired by the extensive in-store displays in Hammond's kitchen, bath, and flooring division. Hammond's designers will help you visualize your space before the work begins. And all design fees are refunded when you purchase your materials from them. And Hammond delivers from 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. When it's time for a new kitchen, it's time to bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Commercial vehicles can be dangerous, and they usually carry big insurance policies. So whether you're hurt by a landscaping truck like this, a work van like this, or a big rig like this, we know commercial vehicle accidents, and we know how to get you the big money you may deserve. If any commercial vehicle hurts you, call the twos. We win for you.
Hurt by a commercial vehicle? Call the twos. We win for you. Call 222-2222.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
ABC 7 and Fox 22's Jack Webb named Maine's Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association.
Welcome back in, everyone. The high school basketball tournament is heating up and will start in Orono for a Class C North prelim. Number 10 Bucksport taking on number 7 Orono. ESPN in the building, and so is Mattinacook scouting their next opponent. The story of this game, though, Bergen Soderberg, he snags the high pass and knocks down the corner three. Next, it's Brady Hughes' turn. He's going to bury the deep triple as Orono is rolling in this one. And here we go with more of the same. Hughes down court to Soderberg, who pulls up with the quick trigger. And then shortly after, who else but Soderberg. 10 threes from him in this one, 32 total points. But Matt Allen says, guys, don't forget about me. He takes the contact and finishes the and one bucket. Bucksport still fighting, though, as Jack Morrison is going to knock down the mid-range jumper. But then on the other end, late in the game, it's Lucas Hernandez who puts the cherry on top with a triple of his own as Orono wins 69-26. They'll take on Mattinacook in the quarterfinals. Taking a look at some other playoff scores from around the region. Class B North Boys prelims, Presque Isle with a win over Nokomis. In Class B South Boys prelims, Lincoln Academy edging out Oceanside. In Class D North Boys, Central Aroostook with a win over Skankton. In Class D North Boys, PVHS with a win over Stearns. And then number 3 Forest Hills getting the win in the Class S South Boys quarterfinal. And also in Class S South Valley with a big win over Greenville. Class S South Girls, Forest Hills with a win over Greenville, and then Class S South Girls as well. Valley wins big over Rangeley. Believe it or not, this weekend, the Maine baseball team officially kicks off their season with a 4-game slate at Duke. The Black Bears have been practicing for several weeks at this point, but one thing they haven't been able to do is play ball outside due to the weather. Their trip to Durham, North Carolina will grant them that opportunity for the very first time this spring season.
Yeah, I think we're just pretty excited. Obviously, we haven't been able to be on the field at all since the fall with all the snow, so I think we're just excited to be outside and get going.
We'll get 2 days of it being outside before Friday, so, it's exciting. I think that the guys are prepared, and, now we just got to go roll it out and go play some games.
This year's squad has a much different look from last season, with some guys graduating or transferring to other schools. The Black Bears have filled those spots with 19 freshmen and transfers that will now take on big roles in 2026. At times, it can be hard for a team to adjust to that much change in the lineup, but head coach Nick Durbis says the guys have adapted well.
We have some young guys that are coming in here with a really good professional mentality. So to be honest with you, I mean, a lot of it is just going out and putting them through as much pressure situations as possible and giving them the reps they need to be able to go out and succeed at whatever level that's going to be weekend one.
Your first time on a diamond all spring is a game that's a tough way to start the year. Staying in Orono, the Maine hockey team returns to the Alphon to host UConn this weekend. The Black Bears suffered yet another overtime loss last weekend, this time to rival Boston University. As the roller coaster continues for this group, they're currently ranked 6th in the Hockey standings, while the visiting Huskies are tied for 2nd. With just 7 games remaining in the regular season, something needs to change quickly, and head coach Ben Barr says that change must come from within.
Change is going to come from, to a man, all of us deciding we're going to make that change, and that's, hey, I got to, it's really, can I block that, am I going to block that extra shot? And that's, we have some guys that'll do it every single time. And that's really what we've been trying to instill in some of these young guys, and not just the young guys, even some of the sophomores and juniors, where it's, hey guys, we don't get to decide when we want to do things right. It has to be all the time, and that one time you don't do it right, that could be the game.
We'll finish with some exciting news for people around the entire state. This weekend, you, your family, and friends can fish for free anywhere in Maine. This Saturday and Sunday, Mainers can hit the ice absolutely free of charge. No fishing license required. All you will need is your equipment, bait, and warm layer, so I guess maybe not free of charge. But the free fishing weekend applies to any of Maine's lakes, ponds, and streams and will last until the clock strikes midnight on Monday morning. So call up your family and friends and take advantage of the great fishing that this state of Maine has to offer, and hopefully you'll come away with a couple bites along the journey. And turning now with the Boston Celtics, who received great news on Tuesday as star forward Jason Tatum returned to practice for the first time since his injury last season. As all you Celtics fans know, Tatum ruptured his Achilles tendon back in May during Game 4 of the Celtics playoff series against the New York Knicks. 39 weeks later, Tatum has taken the biggest step towards a potential return this season by joining the Maine Celtics G League team for their practice on Tuesday. Tatum chose not to indicate whether or not he thinks he will make a return later this season, but did say getting back out on the court in any capacity was extremely satisfying.
It was good to be a part of practice yesterday with the Maine G League guys. Today is 39 weeks, so it's been a long journey. And it's just like the progression of rehab. It was the next step. Doesn't mean that, I'm coming back or I'm not. It's just, we're just following the plan.
I'm with you, Celtics fans, hoping to see Tatum by the end of the year. For now, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor and are now under new management with a new chef and a completely redesigned menu. Come grab a drink and enjoy a meal with us. Fans, food, fun. Seasons.
Are you in need of remodeling your bathroom? Want to convert your tub into a safe walk-in shower? Call the experts at Bangor Bathrooms by Design now. They offer complete bathroom remodels, and from start to finish, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Call them now and save thousands. 659-6457. Enjoy that brand new bathroom you've always wanted from Bangor Bathrooms by Design. Transforming bathrooms, elevating lives.
What matters more? A bank with innovative products or one that cares for the community? At Bangor Savings Bank, we think it's both because our innovation helps customers build stronger credit, earn rewards when shopping local, give teens independence and financial experience, and simplify business with local solutions. So what matters more? You.
Seasons Lounge and Banquet Center. We're just one block from Hollywood Slots in Bangor and are now under new management with a new chef and a completely redesigned menu. Come grab a drink and enjoy a meal with us. Fans, food, fun. Seasons.
Welcome back, everyone. Team USA's medal count is on the rise Wednesday in Milan. America now with a dozen medals and winning 2 more golds. A rising star taking one of those on the ice, and married figure skaters securing a silver. ABC's Dave Packer reports.
Team USA doubling its Olympic gold today in Milan Cortina and climbing to the leaderboard with 12 total medals, only 1 behind Norway and Italy. The U.S. now with 4 gold medals, including Wisconsin speed skater Jordan Stolz, who showed he was the big cheese on the ice Wednesday. The 21-year-old winning the men's 1,000-meter. He's seen as a favorite to take home 3 more medals before the Winter Games are over.
It's hard enough just to get 1 gold medal, but 1 is, it's huge. And for me, just being able to win 1 and doing it in the 1,000-meter, you wait 4 years to be able to do it. It means a lot, so I'm happy so far.
U.S. husband and wife duo Madison Chalk and Evan Bates taking silver in the ice dance final. They took gold in team skating on Sunday.
We couldn't have skated any better, and we're super proud with how we took the ice, how we handled ourselves every time, and the rest is out of our hands.
On the slopes, 20-year-old Elizabeth Lemley won a surprise gold medal in women's moguls freestyle skiing. Her teammate Jalen Koff taking silver. Also taking silver, U.S. skier Ryan Cochran-Siegel in the Super G. U.S. snowboarder Chloe Kim is now eyeing a record 3rd consecutive gold medal in the halfpipe. She topped the leaderboard Wednesday to advance to the finals Thursday. Also on Thursday, U.S. skiers Breezy Johnson and Jacqueline Wiles look for more medals in the Alpine Women's Super G. And U.S. men's hockey takes to the ice for the first time against Latvia. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
Now here's meteorologist Devin Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Experience a Quality Automotive difference. Reliable service and expert care that you can depend on. Call us to schedule your next appointment, 922-2043. Alrighty, here we go. We have a small craft advisory that is up until Friday at around 7 a.m. along the coast. We're keeping an eye on some active surf that will be occurring until around that time frame. And for now, it is starting to pick up at around 2 to 6 feet. According to the buoys, that's a wide range there. Further off towards the north and east by the contours, you can see it is picking up. Farther out towards sea, it is getting active again at around 8 to even 16 feet already. And meanwhile, on land, the last of the snow reports starting to come in 2 and even up to 9 inches being reported according to some of these reports as well. And further off towards the north, not as bad. Some areas seeing at around 2 to even 5 inches according to some of these reports. So overall, nothing too ridiculous, but still some areas seeing a few snow showers this morning. This will be tapering off, and we'll see the clouds breaking up throughout the daytime period today. Still some areas of the northeast seeing some snow, but as for us, again, the snow will be tapering off throughout the daytime period as low pressure begins to move away. So again, decreasing clouds today. Overall, we're clearing out pretty good tonight. And as we head towards tomorrow, again, looking pretty nice. The winds will be a thing today, tonight, and also into parts of tomorrow. Overall, not much cloud cover. So we'll see a good amount of sunshine, at least, with more clouds on the way as we head towards early Saturday morning. But again, gusty winds up to 25 to even close to 30 miles per hour at times today, and even in a few spots coming up later on tonight. And even as we head towards tomorrow, some gusty winds up to around 20 miles per hour. So for today, here we go. Low 30s, decreasing clouds and breezy. Northwest wind at around 25 miles per hour. Overnight, 9 degrees, mostly clear and breezy. Northwest wind at about 15 miles per hour or so. Later on tomorrow, low 30s, mostly sunny and breezy, and that west wind getting up to about 20 miles per hour. Alrighty, let's check out your extended forecast brought to you by Quality Automotive and Brewer. Valentine's Day on Saturday, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for snow, highs in the low 30s with mid-30s on Sunday under a partly cloudy sky. President's Day on Monday, mostly cloudy, overall with highs in the upper 30s.
In Minneapolis, innocent citizens gunned down. Here in Maine, ICE agents detaining local law enforcement. And Susan Collins is giving ICE even more power. As head of the committee that controls spending, Collins wrote the bill to increase ICE funding with no restrictions, no restraints, letting masked agents enter homes without warrants, raid churches and classrooms. Tell Susan Collins to stop towing the party line and start holding ICE accountable.
Gun Sports and Brewer knows that for fun, exercise, and meeting new friends, nothing is better than ice skating. Whether it's sailing down the ice, making a great pass, and scoring in a game of hockey, or the grace, strength, and expression of figure skating. From the youngest child all the way to adulthood, anyone can enjoy the fun of skating. At Gun Sports, we supply the equipment for your skating fun for great prices, the proper fit, and service after the sale. Shop your locally owned Gun Sports shop, Greenpoint Road in Brewer.
It's tournament time, and ABC 7 is your home for tournament coverage. Watch ABC 7 News at 6 and 11 for all your highlights and interviews as our high school teams go for that gold ball. And get the latest high school bracket information at WVII.com.
Brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 30 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, great quality furniture and Bangor's largest in-stock mattress selection. Free statewide delivery.
I'm RJ Decker, Florida's most lovable PI.
What's up, Arch?
Dewey.
You and this place, you were made for each other.
What do you mean, the bar?
Florida.
Well, you tell your kids they walk in on you making love. They walk in on you making love.
We was playing hide and go seek.
We was playing hide and go seek and he found me.
Family Feud.
Weekdays at 9 on ABC 7.
People who want to try their hand at ice fishing will be able to do so for free. This weekend will be a free fishing weekend. That means on February 14th and the 15th, people can try fishing without purchasing a license. However, you will still need to abide by regulations and catch limits. It's a program run by Inland Fisheries and Wildlife to get more people hooked on the sport. For more information, you can visit mefishwildlife.com. Meanwhile, a community-funded animal shelter in Trenton is getting it on Valentine's Day spirit the only way that they know how. For the first time ever, SPCA of Hancock County is holding a Kiss and Diss fundraiser. People can donate $5 to give a participating dog or cat a kiss. The animal with the most kisses will receive a special treat. Money can also be donated towards a diss, which, according to Executive Director Mindy Wolf, can be dedicated to a, quote, deserving human in someone's life. A diss can look like someone's name written at the bottom of a litter box. All of the funds go toward the shelter's Prevent a Litter program, which helps subsidize the cost of spay and neuter procedures for the pets of people on Maine state assistance.
February is Spay and Neuter Awareness Month. We can help prevent unwanted litters and overpopulation. There's also certain diseases that are very common if you do not get your animals spayed or neutered. Without getting your animal spayed, there's a disease called pyometra that can infect females, and that actually is life-threatening.
Results will be announced on February 20th. Those who'd like to participate can visit spcahancockcounty.org. Well, that's all the time that we have left for this hour, but you can join us for the second hour of Good Morning Maine. That's next on Fox 22. Have a great day, everyone.